Hi everybody, it's Chef Tina Martini, you know, the medicine chef. It's time for another episode of Martini Time, the cooking show where you and I are going to do a whole lot more together than cook. Since it's Martini Time, chefs, we always start with a drink. We're going to start with something light and refreshing today. We've got a little bit of Pinot Grigio, one of my personal favorites, so beautiful with lots of different dishes. Now, we always think about red wine as having the benefits, but guess what, chefs? This has got flavonoids in it too, and flavonoids and bioflavonoids, two of the best ways to stop the aging clock, and you gotta love it with some good wine. So I'm just gonna put in a little bit of the Pinot Grigio. You can do 3 or 4 ounces, whatever you like, and a little bit of cranberry cocktail. Now this is a cranberry cocktail that's sweetened with a little bit of white grape juice, and we know that's just a little better choice for us. Now cranberry here is the real superstar, isn't it? Cranberry, and we've got some fresh here, really help keep the bacteria out of the body. And you know, if bacteria can't set up shop, it can't make us sick. The body will eliminate it naturally. And cranberry, pomegranate, and blueberry, those 3 things really keep bacteria from setting up on our mucal tissue. So a cocktail that's going to help you fight bacterial infection, we love that. All right, let's go ahead and put in a little peach schnapps. And you know, chefs, when I find the medicinal benefit of peach schnapps, I'll let you know. But for now, it's just good for the soul. So we've got a beautiful color here. We've got a pitcher. You could do a little more cranberry if you'd like a little more color and just kind of layer it in there. Some fresh cranberries and a little bit of orange for a garnish, and you've got a beautiful drink. Are you ready for some clams and quinoa? Let's cook. All right, we'll leave that here. Come on over with me, and I've got a pan moving right now with some garlic and some butter. Here's the good news. The researchers tell us that butter, real butter, actually may increase longevity. Something creamy and yummy that's actually good for us. We gotta love that. And then I've got a little bit of garlic. Now remember, chefs, don't put any color on your garlic. You just want to soften it a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and get ready with our clams. Now I've got some little necks here, and boy, I'll tell you, they're not very little. Look at these beauties. Now the water looks a little cloudy because we've put in just a little bit of cornmeal while we soak the clams, and what that does is it's an irritant to the clam, and it will force the clam to spit out all of the grit and the sand. The last thing you want on your plate, chefs, is sand from your shellfish. So let's go ahead and put some cornmeal or flour in the water first, get them to spit out their grit, and then we'll just pull them right out of the water and they're ready to cook with. So we've got our butter and garlic. We're gonna go ahead and put our clams in. Now what's good about clams is the selenium. Now selenium is an essential mineral, and we're knowing now, chefs, that it really is turning out to be the superstar mineral to stop the growth of cancer. As a matter of fact, a lot of the researchers are busy looking at selenium right now, and shellfish are really high in selenium. All right, keep your pan moving there. We've got 1 more rack of clams to go in, and we're all set. Make sure you shake that cornmeal out. And we're gonna go ahead and cover those and let them steam for a minute. Once those pop open, we'll make our broth. Now let's talk about another type of eating program that's really making a move on the market now, and that's the gluten-free. Now gluten is the part of the wheat that contains protein or the amino acids. But since we've genetically modified the wheat so much, the body really is having a hard time recognizing what it is. So first of all, try to go organic with any wheat products that you may buy. Other than that, you can look for your gluten-free products on the market and hear what's better to sop up some really delicious white wine clam broth with all that beautiful garlic and butter, but a baguette. And yes, there are gluten-free baguettes on the market that are absolutely delicious. We've also got some cheddar herbed biscuits here that are gluten-free, and this happens to be a Whole Foods Market product. So this, chefs, would be our product pick of the week, the Whole Foods gluten-free cheddar biscuits to go with our beautiful clam dish. Now let's talk about something great to serve the clams and broth over, and that's quinoa, and that's what this is, chefs. What in the world, you're saying? Well, there's so many beautiful grains on the market now to serve as a side dish. Now the thing about quinoa is it's one of the highest protein grains we know of. So yes, vegetarians quinoa is a perfect choice for you, and it also happens to be gluten-free, tying right in with our beautiful gluten-free bread. Let's go ahead and take some cooked quinoa to the plate, and we just put that down and make a little bed for your clams. Now, of course, you could do this in a bowl if you wanted to do kind of a brothy, soppy, kind of get the bread out and soak up the good stuff. That would be a beautiful presentation. I'm just going to do just a small little serving here. You can see how nice and fluffy the quinoa is, and again, very high protein. Let's check on our clams and see how they're doing. All right, they should be starting to open any minute. I'm going to go ahead and make the broth. So let's go ahead and put in a little bit of our Pinot Grigio that we had left over from our Pinot Grigio Delight. We're just going to put that in and put a little bit of clam juice in, and that's going to pick up that beautiful flavor of the ocean. Now, we talked about the selenium, but clams are also high in omega-3 fatty acids. You know, I probably mention that just about every episode because we're really seeing all of the wonderful things that the omega-3 fatty acids do for us. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper in, and we'll season that up. Move this up to a boil, and then when your clams open, you're ready to go. Now let's see what else we have over here for you to look at today. We've got some different kinds of quinoa that are already made up into different flavors. This happens to be an edamame and scallion one. We've got Southwest black bean. So you can see that you can buy quinoa that's already flavored for you. Out front here, we've got some gluten-free flours, and you can see you can buy them just like regular flour. We're going to go ahead and use those instead of the wheat flour to make up breads, baked goods, anything that you like. But here's the most important tip for you to remember when you're baking gluten-free, chefs, and that's the xanthan gum. Now, xanthan is a seaweed. It's made out of seaweed, and what it does is it acts like a leavening, and it lifts the gluten-free products up just like a regular baked product. So here's your handy hint for this week. Let's remember the gluten-free baking needs the xanthan gum to lift it up. All right, chefs, it's about that time. Let's check on the clams and see that they've opened. So be careful when you open the lid because obviously there's going to be a lot of steam there. Great for the skin, but we don't want to get burned. All right, so we're just going to pull the clams out right now. Oh, look at them pop open as we're working with them. Isn't that beautiful? Look, chefs, look at how gorgeous. Little bits of beautiful omega-3 fatty acids keep your skin beautiful, keep you making good decisions and thinking clearly. Let's go ahead and arrange those beautifully. Oh my gosh, and you could scoop up the broth with your beautiful little shells. Now remember, if you've got one in there that's not opening, please don't try to force it open and eat it. It's really not good. The clam is dead, so we don't want to go there. Oh boy, this looks fabulous. Yum! All right, let's get a little spoon out and get some of our broth drizzled over. And we just put that right over. Oh boy, it smells so good in here. Like the great Chef Emerald used to say, we need smell-o-vision. All right, chef, so we've got our broth over there. We've got a beautiful cheddar biscuit. I'm just gonna dip it right in the pan. I'm gonna finish with a little bit of lemon zest. Let's grab that. And it's all about here's to your health, chefs. Well, that's it for today. You've got your clams and quinoa. I hope you enjoy it. I'm Chef Tina Martini. Be sure to check us out on Facebook for all of our recipes, vital nutrition information, and post your questions on our wall. We'll get to you right away. Again, I'm Chef Tina Martini. Here's to your health.